Hey, and welcome to One Word Show, the most talked about show in my head. Yes, good thing we're not all there. I'm Jason, and I am the host, and we have a fantastic guest today. Now, I put all kinds of pressure on her. Brett, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
First, yeah, excited. Have you seen any episodes before? One. Which one did you see?
Oh, now you're going to put me on the spot.
That's what I do. Was it the pants episode with Scott?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to make that the most popular one we have.
It was pants. Yes.
Yeah, no. If you haven't seen the pants episode with Scott, guys, you totally need to go see that one. It wasn't even the word, and we still had fun with that one.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So you kind of have an idea of how the show works.
Yes.
Okay, so for those of you at home, let me tell you what we're doing here. We're going to get a word, 2 of them. I've never seen them. You've never seen them, so that makes it a little bit more exciting.
I hope they're words I've seen before.
Well,
or we'll have nothing to talk about.
You bring up a very good point. You're the first person to bring that point up, I think. So they're words that we've seen at some point in our life, but just we don't know which ones are coming up today. And then, Brett, you'll get to pick one, and we'll freestyle about it.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, we'll get our 2 words, and we will start. Our 2 words are going to be... All right, haircut and private.
Oh, boy.
Haircut I could use, for sure.
Oh, wow. I'm going to go with private, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, what? Okay, why?
Because it has 2 meanings for me.
Okay, so the private has 2 meanings for you.
Yeah.
But it seems like you were kind of waffling. So what was it about? What was it about
always
haircut?
Been really traumatic.
Yeah. Is that why you kind of decided to go towards private?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's table private for a second then, and let's find out why these haircuts. Well, you say traumatic haircuts.
I've had a lot of really traumatic haircuts.
Yeah, I've given a few.
I grew up poor, so my mom would never take me anywhere to get a good haircut.
Okay.
She would just like make me sit in a chair and
Did she bowl you?
Oh, worse. I mean,
worse than bowling you?
Oh, it was awful.
Oh.
It was awful. So many bad haircuts when I was young. And my hair is curly.
Okay.
And you can't cut curly hair dry, but she always did because her hair was not curly, so she didn't know. And it was just awful. And I didn't get my first professional haircut until I was 17.
Wow.
And And then about...
So in, 17 years, she didn't get any better at the haircuts?
Oh,
you
no.
would think with that much practice, she would at least
she never got any better. Just like she never got better at cooking.
So, okay, time out. So, bad haircuts and you had to eat food that didn't taste good?
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
I thought...
It was a rough life.
Yeah. I think I'm just glad that you're here on the show today, that you made it this far.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, no, that's impressive. That's super impressive.
And then about a year and a half, 2 years ago, my husband gave me a buzz cut. I was having a lot of hot flashes, perimenopause, and it was wicked. So we cut off all my hair. And that was also really traumatic in a lot of ways.
Did you find that it was maybe a little bit liberating as well? I have friends that...
Yes, it was liberating, and it was amazing how many people told me how brave they thought I was for doing it, which surprised me quite a bit, because I've never... Here, we're going to talk about haircuts the whole time.
Oh, no, I'll make sure we get over to that private for you as well.
But, yeah, a lot of people said it was really brave, it was really courageous, and I didn't really understand that because I grew up with so many bad haircuts that I don't take my hair terribly seriously.
Okay, that's fair.
And so when I cut it off, it was like, well, it's easy, and I use less shampoo. And so that was kind of what I felt like. And then people said it was courageous and brave, and they had a lot of respect for me doing it, and they wished they could be that brave. And I was like, it's a haircut.
Right. It just some clippers in about 5 minutes and you're good, right?
Yeah. So, there's a lot of baggage with that word.
Absolutely. And obviously some maybe a little bit of trauma still sitting a little deep in the soul there.
A little bit.
I won't traumatize you any more than with that.
Okay.
Let's move on to actually I'm going to leave one more note on that now that I'm thinking about it, because my brothers, I'm the oldest of 7 boys. Mm-hmm. And one summer I begged every once in a while she'd let me cut their hair. which is another story in and of itself. But I begged her to let me give them custom haircuts, and then I was like, as the oldest brother, I'm trying to sales pitch them into doing whatever, and they were some of the worst haircuts I think I've ever done. I like shaved just this part off of their head, or the opposite of that, mohawks,
Oh,
all
awesome.
kinds. Oh yeah, no,
Awesome.
They had to wear it for a week, and then my mom shaved their head before church. So
Yeah, you can't go into church with hair like that.
no, not at all. So let's switch over to private then
Okay.
for a minute. So why did you choose private? You said it had two meanings for you.
It has two meanings for me. One is the concept of not sharing things publicly, keeping issues
Okay.
private. Private things in your life that you don't want to share or you don't want to talk about. But I also spent 10 years in the military.
Okay.
And so
you
private
started?
is also a rank in
Yeah.
the military. I was actually came in as an officer. I started as a lieutenant, and they promoted me to captain the day I showed up for basic training. So I was never a private. But I worked with an awful lot of privates that were unbelievable, amazing people that you could count on for anything. And there were some officers that I worked with who didn't give them the respect they deserved
Because of a label.
because they were privates.
Or a rank.
Right, because they're newbies. They just started. They're green. They don't know what they're doing. You can't trust them. They're just kids. And that was not my experience with most of the privates that I worked with. They were very, very devoted, very courageous, very honorable, for the most part. Few exceptions, but for the most part, they were really good people.
And do you find that translates not only with, you said that with the military, but like now that you're out in civilian life, if you will, you kind of see a lot of the same thing too, where like people who are have the experience, the seniority or whatever, they go into it, they have a job, and they bring the new people in, and they're like, oh yeah, you barely are old enough to drink. There's no way you can tell me anything that I don't already know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that it's important to listen to other people's ideas, listen to their perspective. Everybody has good ideas, and sometimes the longer you've been in a job, the harder it is to see what could be done differently.
Sure, you get kind of like the horse.
We've always
blinders
done
on.
it this way.
Yep. No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
There's no other way to do it. This is the best way because it's the only way I know.
Right. And
Yep.
someone comes in who doesn't have all that baggage and all that history, and they might go, this doesn't make sense. It would be so much easier or faster or more efficient or more cost effective if we tried this. And you have to be open to those things.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be a good leader, if you want to be a productive employee, you have to listen to other people's ideas.
Sure.
You just have to.
No,
So,
absolutely. Well, they say that's the difference between a leader and like just a boss of something. Is a leader will bring everybody along with them, or the boss is more like, I am the almighty, and everything I say is what you do.
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't want to be the king.
No,
I
right.
want to be it. A leader is supposed to be out in front so people can follow. You're not supposed to be behind them with a whip.
Sure.
You're not. You're supposed to be saying, let's do this, let's try this. And you're supposed to not ask your team to do anything you wouldn't do yourself.
Sure.
So, and again, that's the military talking.
No, absolutely. Well, right. No, absolutely. And so these privates, is there one out of the 10 years of service? Is there one that kind of stands out? Is there a particular one that stands out?
My very first one.
Yeah.
My very first one, Private Rodriguez.
Okay.
Was just amazing. I was at Nellis Air Force Base.
Okay.
Running a small veterinary clinic, and she was my only technician in the clinic. And I asked her to do everything, and she did it without complaint, including wrangling a black widow spider out of the storeroom one day because I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, no,
And she went right in there with a mayonnaise jar and got it out of the clinic.
She like caught it and released it.
Yes.
I had to burn the whole clinic to the ground.
Me too.
I'm not even kidding. I'm that guy that when you see the memes and the house is collapsed, you're like, I got the spider. Yeah. That's.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
she was amazing. She was absolutely amazing. Really hard worker, really dedicated.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to meet people like that and to have those people kind of come across your path in life, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's, The whole rank thing in the military is, I struggle with that a lot, because I believe that every member of a team has something to contribute. And I remember one time I heard a story about someone who toured NASA, and they asked one of the janitors, "What do you do here?" And the janitor said, "I put men on the moon." Because at NASA, they believe in that team philosophy, and everybody there is working for the same goal, whether you're just picking up cigarettes or
Sure.
trash on the ground or cleaning toilets or whatever. You're working towards that goal. And so I've made it a habit to try and at least get to know the support staff everywhere I've ever worked.
Well, yeah, that's what keeps it going for you, right?
Exactly. And I count on those people to do what they do. It's not menial labor. It's something that needs to be done. And so I have to appreciate that, and I have to work with them, and I have to let them know that I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So,
no, I agree 100% with that.
Yeah.
Well, and you mentioned two sides.
Yeah.
So let's jump over to that other side for just a second.
The other one, and as I was picking private, I was wondering if I actually wanted to talk about this, because there's an awful lot in my life that I am private about.
Sure.
And to talk about it publicly on a show seems odd. And so I'm not going to give you all the details, because the details are private.
No, absolutely.
But I also think that there's a lot of things in our lives that we keep private that we shouldn't.
Okay.
I feel very strongly that if people have struggles, if they have mental health issues, if they're depressed, if they're angry about something, if they're in a bad marriage and they don't know who to talk to, or if whatever, if you're ashamed about something you did in 7th grade or someone you hurt or wronged, we have a tendency to not air that. We want to keep it quiet. We want to keep it private. We want to hold it.
Sure.
So that people don't think badly of us.
Sure, because we care more about what people think than what is best for us.
And I think it's very, very important to open up those parts of your lives, because everyone has them. And the more we share those stories and those feelings, the more other people are going to go, I had that same experience, or I did that once, or wow, what I did wasn't so bad.
Right.
And I think it's really important that we interact openly with one another and talk to each other like friends, like family.
Sure.
And not be worried about what people are going to think all the time.
Not be afraid of that, and be willing to ask for the help that is needed. Now, I think there's another side to that too, though, with the private. And I'm referring to and I think every person, at least anybody who's on social media, has that 1 or 10 friends that are like 3 a.m. posting something like, "Oh, I wish I could sleep." And you're like, well, maybe you just stop posting on Facebook. You could go to sleep, because that screen time's not helping you at all. Oh, you're one of those people.
I am one of those people. Except usually it's words with friends at 3 a.m.
Okay, well, but you're not complaining about it at that point. Like, why can't I sleep? I'm playing words with friends. That's why I can't sleep. That is funny. Well, I hope I didn't make you feel bad about that.
No, not at all. Not at all. But yeah, I just think that everyone does have things that they want to keep private. I have a lot of really strong feelings about the whole Me Too movement and sexual assault survivors. I was victimized as a child by my stepfather. It's something I kept private for 40 years.
Wow.
And only told a couple of people I was very, very close to. And when the whole Me Too thing started, I kind of came to terms with, why am I keeping this secret? It isn't something I did.
Right.
There's no shame in it. And I saw other people coming out and telling their story, and I started to tell my story. And it was amazing to me to find out, just among my friends on Facebook, I think I had 2 female friends who told me they had never had an experience like that. Everyone else had.
Wow.
Everyone who was willing to respond, to share, told me they'd had similar experiences. And I also found probably 10 to 15 male friends who had had similar experiences.
Wow.
And they'd never told anyone.
Sure.
And they were writing on my post on Facebook, I've never told anyone this, but.
Right.
And there was so much healing in that. And, you know, for all those years, there was the shame. It's private. Don't tell anyone. It's going to reflect badly on you or on your family or on, you know, my mother or whoever.
Right.
But it needs to be spoken about. It needs to be out there so that it's not private anymore.
Right. You talk about the guilt, and there's two sides. I can't imagine from a woman's point of view, because obviously I'm not a woman, but there's that guilt of shaming that I did something wrong or whatever else. And then from a guy's perspective, well, I'm a man. Stuff doesn't happen to me like that because I do manly things, and I don't cry, and I don't watch romance movies, and rah rah.
Right.
And those stereotypes, we let ourselves fall into them so that we're not. So we internalize it instead, which is not good either.
Right.
We can't let it go.
Right. And the more we don't talk about it, and the more we keep quiet, and the more we feel shame, the more it's going to keep happening. Because the people who do it can get away with it because no one talks.
Sure.
And so yeah, private has a whole lot of baggage too.
No, for sure. But thank you for sharing. I mean, that's
I have to.
I think it's important.
At this point in
right?
my life, I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't keep quiet anymore.
No, and I applaud you. That's.
And it's not just bad stuff. I mean, there's good things that I've kept private that I'm talking about now too.
Okay.
Just, you know, it's just trying to be more open about sharing my life, my experiences with people.
Right. Well, I think we get in a habit a lot of times, especially like when we're not when with ourselves. I think we're a little bit more our true selves. But when you're out, whether you're out in public or you're on social media or whatever else, you put on your best face. Like everybody puts on their best face. Oh my gosh, their life must be fantastic. Look at them. They don't have any problems. They're at Applebee's again, having a steak dinner for two.
Right.
Woohoo!
Right.
And it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's deeper than that. I think that if I feel that if we were all, and this goes for me too, because heaven forbid, I have my fair share of private stuff that sits there and internalizes. But if you let it go and you're more open about it, then it starts a whole healing process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny actually. I haven't found a better word yet, but I don't like the word sexual assault or sexual abuse survivor. I don't like survivor because I hear survivor and I think of, you know, the person on a desert island who's starving to death and you can see all their ribs and their hair is all scraggly and they need a haircut.
Right, they're talking to a volleyball that they
exactly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And I don't feel like I'm a survivor because to me a survivor is a person who has really suffered a lot, and I feel like I'm a warrior.
Okay. No, that's fair.
But that word hasn't really been adopted yet.
Sure.
And a lot of women like the survivor thing because, they got through it, they survived, they were strong. It just doesn't speak to me.
Well, so. And I guess if you go with that, let's go with that thought process you have. If survivor is just that. It's just you survive. You just survived. You got through it.
Right.
Where a warrior is going to be proactive. Not only did you survive it, but now you're going forward and being a champion for perhaps other people who have had the same problem or the same, the same, not problem, it's not a problem, the same circumstance, the bad circumstance that happened to them.
Yeah.
And it gives them a chance, gives them a voice as well through you.
Yeah. And not that there's anything wrong with people who embrace the word survivor, but it didn't fit for me.
Sure.
It made me want to be quiet, and I don't want to be quiet anymore.
No, I've known you for a little while. You like to.
I try.
Yeah, no, we love it. I love it. Absolutely.
It's a military officer in me.
Sure. Yeah. No, I guess that's kind of trained in one way or the other.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly.
Well, awesome. Is there anything else on private you want to touch on?
No. Well, that was a lot.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes the words are like, oh, what am I doing right now? I don't know. What am I doing with my life? No, this was fantastic.
I had trauma with both of those words.
You did, but we worked through them. We worked through them.
Yes, we did, like warriors.
So we don't have, exactly like warriors. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Sure.
That was I had a blast.
This was fun.
Good.
This was fun.
Good. Maybe we'll have you on for something else down the road.
All right.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
If you guys liked it at home, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Click that bell for notifications. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some comments down below. If you want to see more shows just like this, go to onewordshow.com. And we have our Newsmakers Fun channel that has this and a lot of other fun episodes. And until next time, we'll see ya.